it's so much power. It's extreme ownership, right? Like you have extreme ownership from start to finish. Once that file gets into your hands, you are the CEO. You run it. It's all you.
Yeah, and I used to say you're the boss of the file, but that didn't seem to resonate as well as when CEO came out today. And I thought, when you look at a CEO, the buck stops there. When you look at a CEO, they are the last word. They're the one that drives the initiative. They drive the goal. And the goal is obviously to deliver excellent over-the-top customer service to the agent, to the client, to the other agent. You've got three people that you're dealing with there, and then you got real estate and all the things that happen during the transaction. But you've got to be the CEO. So one of the people said, what happens when one of the assistants on the call said, my agent all the time seems to interrupt me. And I'm thinking to myself, I should have said to her, what CEO could you walk in and interrupt anytime you want?
Well, that brings me to a point that CEO can stand for Chief Everything Officer, right? And so we not only are the CEO of the file, we're the CEO of everything and everything that we do in our roles. And I had a call with, right before our call tonight, Monica, an admin called me. And I've gotten a few of these calls and they're upset and they're not sure about the future of the industry. And they're not sure about technology and how it's going to affect the admin and the ops role. And I started talking to this admin and I said, it's interesting. We kind of had the same panic when virtual assistants came on the scene.
Right.
So when people started talking about virtual assistants, Monica, are you there? Are we having,
yeah,
I think I'm having internet issues.
I'm here.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Let me, yeah, I can hear you. So we had the same issue. I'm just going to move my modem because I think I'm having some internet problems. So we had the same issue when virtual assistants came on the scene because everybody freaked out. Oh, they're going to hire people in the Philippines that can do our job and can do it cheaper. And the reality is what we did was we hired the VAs and we kept the operations managers. We kept the assistants. We just let the VAs do the minuscule tasks and the detailed tasks that we didn't want to do anymore.
Right.
Which allowed us to then create bigger roles, bigger operations teams, bigger businesses. So I posed the question to this assistant. I said, so when command comes out and is able to do a lot of your heavy lifting, what are you going to go build next?
There will always be a need for a mega agent to have an assistant that they can see and talk to today and leverage themselves with different things that they need to do. That'll never go away. Yeah. The other thing is that go back to early 80s when interest rates were 17.5% to 18, prime was 21%. So you'd say, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. Yeah. People still bought and sold real estate. And so people will always buy and sell real estate. We don't need to worry about that. What we need to worry about is that we're delivering an experience that Gary Keller talks about.
Absolutely.
Be our customer service experience where we're the guru of information. We're the people that take care of them. You can buy all the robots you want. You can buy the virtual assistants you want. However, they aren't the tangible people that can handle that call at 4 o'clock. It may be a different time zone to a virtual. They're not handling those phone calls in. So the bottom line is I don't worry about any of that. The only thing is you need to worry about is that you are going to own command. You own Kelly and you're helping.
You own everything. You're the chief everything officer. And that's what I said to this admin, Monica. I said, you know what? One thing a robot doesn't have? A robot doesn't have a heart. And I know our ops people and our admins have some of the biggest hearts in the industry and they care more about the customer and about their megas. And AI is not going to be able to care like that. And so, like you said, focus on the experience, focus on what you can do to think bigger, right? What are you doing to think bigger, to build bigger business? What businesses are you looking to acquire? How are you helping your megas acquire, other businesses and do bigger things?
The other thing, it goes back to Gary talked about the 5 lead generation systems, and checking your sources of business. And at the time of the shift right now, you've got to have 5 really, really strong lead generation systems that are in place. And
Yeah.
you, great assistant, you are in charge of those and making sure the wheels are turning. I always look at it like you're the train conductor driving the train. You know, everybody's on board and you're going to drive the train. You're going to keep everybody on the tracks. And when they get off the track, you get them back on the track. So your job is very, very complicated, and yet it's extremely important to the team staying on the track. You're the train conductor. You make the trains run.
Yeah. And we talk about, so when we talk about the lead generation, I love that because that's come up a lot, and we're talking a lot about database, right?
Not database.
What is your, I mean, what does the database look like? How are you systematically marketing to your database? Do you have a 36 touch? What does your 36 touch look like?
Yeah, what's your growth plan every day? Is your database one of the numbers? So we talk about the 4 conversations, and you and I've talked about the 5th conversation. So the 4 conversations are listing appointments, listings taken, closings, and GCI that week. Now the conversation is, how did that database grow? And completes are name, address, phone number, and emails. There is nothing that the agent has. It's not a Louis Vuitton bag. It's not a Lexus car. It's not a Mercedes. The only asset they have is a database. So, you know, you're the CEO of the file. You're also the CEO of the database. And you grow and you improve that. And that's how you help your agent. And you allow
we had an admin. I had an admin team that on Friday or last week on their call, we figured out how many people each team member needed to add, how many METs they needed to add to the database to be at 5,000 by the end of first quarter.
Good.
And so they had this rollout with the admin on Friday, and the whole admin team talked about it, the ops team. And one of the ops people came back and had 40 names, phone numbers, and emails from church that weekend.
Good.
And she set a goal that she's going to get at least 20 names and emails from church on every Sunday to add to the database.
And, you know, the key thing about that is that's how you help the team grow. That's how you ensure that the team has got growth and you keep your job. So when the assistant's worried about their jobs, this is how you add value to the team. You'll never be without a job as long as you keep adding value. It is a team effort. Together, each achieves more. And that's the deal on team. Okay.
Yeah. And you're not just a checklist. You don't just check off the boxes. That's not the only value you bring.
Right. Exactly. So Brindley and I together have 3 sessions at family reunion. And so we're going to post those, and we would love to see all of you come to those. Those would be great to come meet us there. But we've got 3, so that'll be fun. So hopefully there's a good group of you coming to family reunion.
We actually got, I got a little bit of insider information. It looks like we're going to have between 400 and 500 admin ops folks at family reunion.
That's awesome.
We're also planning a networking event. So there'll be a networking event that's just for admin also. And then, yeah, we've got a lot of content, a lot of value coming. So Monica, I've been getting this question a lot, and we know the agenda is going to be coming out here in the next week or so. What are your tips for an operations person that is attending family reunion for the first time?
You know, I have a list, and we can post that as we get closer. One of the things that I would definitely do is make sure you have 500 business cards. And you go with the idea of meeting 500 people. You're standing in line to get into the events. You're standing in line for the bathroom, for coffee, for Starbucks. And it's your job to turn around and say, hi, you know, I'm Stephanie with blank, blank office and blank, blank. Here's my business card. Love to network with you. But now with Kelly, I should back all that up.
Yeah, we've got Kelly.
Most of us can just scan the card, and then it goes, there's a name badge, and that'll go right into Kelly.
Yep.
Some still like the business card. So go with the idea that you're going to meet 500 people. Have that as a goal. The other thing is that all of the programs are coming out prior to the event. You'll see what's listed. Sit down, and I always had my team do this. Go through each one of those events, map out your times. Every single time there is a session available, you should go to it. If the session starts at 7:15, you need to be in that room at 6:45 meeting people. Go to network, go to learn, and don't miss a session. And don't be going off and talking to groups of people during when sessions are going on. Figure that out after the hours.
And don't spend the whole time with your team. You see them every day. Divide and conquer, right?
So the other thing I was going to say is don't sit next to anyone you know. And when you go into the general sessions with Gary speaking, go branch out, sit into different sections. The other thing too, I think is important is that you go with how you're going to take notes. And 2 or 3 great ideas from each session. The other thing is make sure you bring layered clothes. Sometimes it's freezing. Like sometimes I feel like I'm in a meat locker, and then sometimes I feel like I'm in the Bahamas. So you never know what you're going to experience there. And of course, comfortable walking shoes. You're going to be walking about 25 miles a day. So comfortable.
Absolutely.
Keep that off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's really important to, like you said, as a team, plan out your days, plan out your nights. What are you going to be doing? And making sure that you're using the value. If your team is paying for you to go to family reunion, remember, this is not a fun trip. This is a work trip. You're there to add value. What are you going to come back and implement? Have those expectations outlined with your mega and with your rainmaker. And rainmakers, have those expectations outlined with all of your team members. My team, we're taking our whole team this year, and they all have to come up with goals that they're going to achieve at family reunion. And we've made it very clear that we want them to have a good time, yet this is business, and they represent us when they're there at networking events. And we all know how fun New Orleans can be. And we have to set those expectations as well. Right, Monica?
Absolutely. Okay. So with that said, let's close it down, because we know everybody's probably tired, and we appreciate you being on the calls, and can't wait to talk to you again next week. We'll do another call.
Yeah, so we're going to do this every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific, and it's just going to be Monica and I, unplugged, leverage live. If there's anything you want us to talk about, you can private message either one of us. Or comment, and we'll answer questions. And we're just going to bring topics that we hear about throughout the week, and any value that we can add to you guys.
Sounds good. And remember, you're the CEO of the file. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys. Have a